Smells like barn find in here. I know I didn't find this in a barn. I know exactly where it was, but it didn't come from a barn. But it still smells like one in here now. Definitely has a different musk. Okay, let's see what we got under here. I plan to put my big block in, but we could check this out first and kind of see what we're dealing with in the engine bay. We got the factory battery tie down, that's good to see. The overflow is way down there for some reason. We got, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but we got pick and pull alternator. Some kind of carb spacer and or adapter. I'll have to take this off, see what's square bore, what's spread bore, whatnot. Got a decent looking distributor. Might put that in the big block. I'm not sure. Neat little adjustable, I think. Nope, it's welded on. Okay, it looks like it's just ready rod with a welded on bracket. That is something my dad would build, but I'm not judging because I'd probably build the same thing. Okay, that goes through the firewall. So hopefully that goes up and around my big block. This thing even have oil in it. She does. It doesn't look good, but it is oil. Okay. Let me see if I can get this thing to turn over with a breaker bar, because I'm not sure if my brother seized it or not. It sat for like 10 years. My brother got it, and I don't know all that he checked before he fired it up. He was pretty young at the time. I think he just fired it up. It ran for about 10 seconds, shut off, and then he couldn't get starters to turn it over. So I'm wondering if he sees something. Well, that plan's foiled already. Got my breaker bar, went to go put it on the crank, and it's an old school block, so there's no crank bolt in the middle. Yeah. I don't even know if this is a 350. Could be 283, could be a 305, 307, 327. I have no idea. I have to pull it out and check the numbers, I guess. Okay, so on further inspection on the dipstick, it actually looks like there's metal shavings in it, which further goes with my theory that my brother sees this. Pulled all the plugs out, so there's no compression. And they actually all look pretty decent, all 8 of them. And then I took all the belts and everything off, put a ratchet strap around the crank pulley so I had something to grab onto. And I can't get this thing to move. So I think she seized. I think I'm going to clean out a drain pan, drain the oil, and see what that looks like. Well, the oil doesn't seem too bad. I mean, like, you might be able to see a little bit on the camera, all those gray swirls on the pan. Yeah, see a little bit there. But it's not glittery. But the filter is. It's got lots of little chunkies and stuff. And I found, sorry camera, found this in the filter. Not sure what that is, if that's the filter coming apart or if that's a blade of grass, piece of plastic, I'm not sure. I definitely think she's hooptied. That's gross. Ew. So I went from not wanting to start on the Beaumont until the dually's done to she's ready to be pulled. So yeah, things went according to plan. I didn't start on the Beaumont at all. I don't know what you're talking about. You didn't see anything. I've been working on the dually this whole time. So I don't know if this is like an old hot rod trick or if my dad was drinking, or probably yes, just all of it. Or if he just used what he had, but it was a spread bore carb with a square bore gasket, then a spread bore to square bore adapter to a spread bore intake. Now I don't know if that's an old hot rodder's trick to get kind of a little bit of swirly in the air, mix the fuel in a little better, or if, like I said, if that's just what he had. No idea. And I was able to get this thing, not that way, this way a little bit. Okay. Oh. I think she turned a little bit. I don't know if you could tell with the camera shaking all over, but turned a little bit, not entirely seized. But I think I'm going to pull it out like that. I've got torque converter bolts, but with me being able to spin that a little bit, I can get all three. Exhaust, bell housing bolts, and motor mount bolts. Oh, and then fuel pump, or at least fuel line, and then not sure how I want to do that. My regular engine crane cherry picker does not pick up that high. Oh, I should probably take the hood off too, now I'm looking at it. But anyways, the cherry picker doesn't get up that high, so I don't know if I'll be able to clear the rad support, even with the car drop down. I might try, because I really don't want to pull the rad support off, or the front clip or anything. I know it's a few bolts, but I just really don't want to, because then I gotta deal with alignment and everything, put it back. Or I could possibly try with this thing. That would have the height, but this thing makes me nervous. I mean, it has held the weight of my big block, which is somewhere right there. I gotta clean this all up soon. But it pulled up, it lifted up my big block out of the box of my truck and down onto the ground. And then again up onto a stand. So if it can pick up a big block, I should be able to pull an engine. I mean, it shouldn't be snagging too many things. Even motor mounts, she's ready to come out. I am also worried about pan size. That cross member right there, where the pan might hit it. There's only one way to find out. If it doesn't fit, I might have to try to find a Chevelle pan and headers. Big block swap, yada yada. It's all coming along. There'll be videos of it. But first, rear diff. Wanted to check it out, see if I could find that clunking, and see what kind of gears it's got. It's just a 10 volt. It's open AF, and it's 308s. That would explain why my dad was only doing 15.1 on the quarter mile. If we put some 373s in here or something, it would have been way faster. Possibly even like 13s. Anyways, probably just gonna put some fluid in it, button it up, maybe paint the diff cover or something. Probably won't even clean it off, just paint it, and then throw it up onto there, and then send it. I don't think this is where the clunking is coming from, so it looks all good. Seems all tight. I think I figured out the rear end clunk. I think this is it. If I tighten that back up, put the rest of them in, maybe it won't click and clunk. It's got a few speed holes in the trunk that might have to be addressed one day. I am not surprised at all though.